Hey, you know Microsoft Paint, that program where you draw a bunch of squiggles and then you color in the squiggles and your parents pretend that it looks good? Yeah, well, Microsoft recently announced that they're going to be removing that in the newest update for Windows, and people freaked out. It was trending on Twitter. You had people drawing gravestones for it. Someone even asked me if it meant I would have to quit YouTube, which, I mean, I know my drawings aren't great, but I thought they were better than Paint, come on. The reason for this change is because Microsoft wants people to use their new art program, Paint 3D, because the only thing that can make squiggle art better is an extra dimension. Yeah. But in response to the public outcry, Microsoft decided that while they would still remove Paint from future versions of Windows, they'll make it available as a free download in the App Store, which means it's kinda dead, but not really. So to commemorate MS Paint's kind of but not really dead state, I've decided to tell a story using drawings done entirely in MS Paint, which I'll be switching over to now. Now I have an excuse to be bad. Alright, so when I was younger, I went on a picnic with my brother, my mum, and my 2 cousins. We went to a park near where my cousins lived, and after we ate, we threw around a frisbee for a little bit. Somewhere along the line, one of my cousins and I were both running for the frisbee and ended up colliding. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we kind of fell over each other, and I think I must have pulled something in my knee because it started hurting like hell. But I didn't want this to mean that we had to stop playing, so I tried to straight face it until we were done. When it was finally time to head back to their house, the pain in my knee wasn't any better, so I tried to hide my limp as much as possible, because at that point I had spent so long pretending everything was fine, I thought I might as well continue. So we get back to their house, and I spent as much time as I could just sitting down, hoping that my knee would eventually feel better. Spoiler alert, it didn't. A few hours later, it's time for us to leave, so I stand up and immediately collapse. My uncle sees me on the floor and he says, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "I can't walk." He says, "Why not?" And I didn't want to explain that I got myself injured 3 hours ago and didn't tell anyone this whole time, so I just said, "I don't know, my leg just doesn't work." And then everyone looked at me like I was playing some sort of game that only I was involved in. Long story short, I literally crawled on all fours out of my cousin's house and all the way to the car, and no one knew why because I didn't want to explain what had happened at the park earlier. To them, it probably just looked like I was really dedicated to the role I was playing or something. Okay, that's it. Pretty dumb story, I know, but I'm not wasting my good stories on Paint. What are you, mad? So that's my send-off. Goodbye, MS Paint, but again, not really, because it's not actually going anywhere, and even if it did leave, I wouldn't care. This thing sucks. You don't know if you're resizing an image or cropping it. It only has 4 brush sizes. It doesn't even have layers. I literally only use this to save my print screens. Now let me ask you a question. Can you draw 3D emojis in MS Paint? I rest my case.